What's up, YouTube? What's up? This video about Allen Iverson. And he said that even though he had to go against Shaq and Kobe and them, he said he never wanted to team up with nobody. He said that just wasn't his DNA. You knew AI was going to say that. You knew he would. He was. Now, when he got people to come to the Sixers, Dikembe was pushing about 58. Rest in peace. But Dikembe was old when he got there. Chris Webber was pushing 63. He was just bent out when they got him. He wasn't the same. Derek Coleman, they played early, but you know how that went with DC. DC is one of those guys that coulda, shoulda, woulda been better. Tony Kukoc never was that kind of player, and playing with Iverson was just not in the cards to being a good look. So, you know, he never did get that player. And when he did play with somebody that was on par, which was Carmelo, he was older. Iverson was old at that time. So he missed out on those opportunities. But he didn't have no regrets because he wasn't caring. He was like, stack them up. You see, he had to go against Shaq. He said, and I think in his heart of hearts, much as he loved Kobe and respected him, Shaq was the problem. Everybody knew Shaq was the problem. People don't tell you about how dominant Shaq was. It's how dominant Shaquille O'Neal was. As great as Kobe was, listen, you got to deal with the diesel. Come on now. Come on now. Like I said before, I might not agree with Shaq on some of them political agendas and some of the other stuff, but as a basketball player, Shaq in his peak and his prime was hanging with anybody you want to throw up there because he was beasting and feasting. And he made life tough on you. And AI was just one of those guys in that line that had to deal with it and had to deal with it. So AI was asked about it. He said, no, I wouldn't team up with nobody. I wouldn't expect him to say otherwise. He led that team to the finals. He said, those were my teammates. What was he going to do with teaming up with a fellow superstar? What was it going to be like? What was he going to do? He wasn't going to defer. And he wasn't going to try to hog him up because he couldn't do that. Hold your own. This brand of NBA, it's not, you know, when people come up and say, oh, it's empowering to play where you want, it is to an extent. Only though if you are putting it where you're winning and also where, you know, that's where you're going to be. Not where you move the needle around like it's a song or vinyl and then you just like, okay, I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go over there, I'm going to go over here, over there. That's where it looks wishy-washy and messy. That's why there are a lot of heads who look at LeBron James and Kevin Durant with disdain and give them the stank face because they don't respect their game because of how they got where they got. I'm not saying not to have player empowerment. I'm a firm believer in that. But see, my idea of player empowerment is a little bit different. I'd say that if what you don't want to give me for is in the contract, how about some ownership? If we're going to do all that, and you're going to make all this 60, 50 millions off of me every year, why don't you give me something? Give me an incentive. Make it count. Because, you know, getting people to play with your team can be just, you know. And that's one of the problems that takes it out of the league because, you know, and there is some resentment to that. That's why it's good, you know, when you see the Clevelands playing today and you see the Bostons playing today, the OKC's playing today, the homegrown. It's good, the untampered. There's going to be a segment of cats when LeBron, KD go, they're going to say, because we don't have to do that. We're doing what we do. So Allen Iverson was a cat that stood on his own box, and he didn't have to do that. So much respect. And he spoke his mind about it, because it ain't for everybody to go along, get along, and try to team it up. You know, let me know what you think in the comments. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like, and hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out. Peace.